there's the other video. I have been following this series off and on, picking up plot details, information, to the point. I have the book, and I don't know. I want to talk about this because it comes out next week. I just fucking 50 Shades of Grey, man. Oh my god, this film. I haven't decided what I want to do for my next review yet, because I got a script. Figure out if I want to do music or a movie or whatever the fuck, and all my other college-related obligations. But anyways, and just side projects and trying to audition for voice acting roles and a whole host of so many things, a little time. But let's talk about this movie. I just got finished reading an article that one of my friends posted on Tumblr about just kind of how there's so much going on the set, or was going on the set during the production of this film, that just, for starters, I have to preface this, I do have a minor bias. I'm not particularly a fan of the series. And, you know, like, yeah, I know it was based off of Twilight fanfiction, and just kind of the way the story's developed and written and all that other shit. Like, I know, and I'm so fascinated by this film. I don't really want it to do that well. I don't, because of some of the things that it really kind of perpetuates a sort of negative view of, like, that type of sex life. And I just watched 2 of the trailers again, because I haven't seen them in a long time, and I'm gonna try my hardest not to see this film in theaters, if you catch my drift. It doesn't look good from a film standpoint. If I take away all of my biases and just go strictly off of what I see in the trailer of these characters, of Anastasia and Christian. You know, you have your overhead shots, you have your narrator tones, you know, generic film trailer things to try and get you intrigued in the mystery of this, you know, handsome, extremely wealthy young businessman. But what I don't see chemistry. And what you're trying to sell is like an erotic romance. And I don't see that. I don't see chemistry in the characters. Yes, they kiss. Yes, they have, you know, they have sexual moments, but that does not equate to, like, intimacy and chemistry. You're not showing me bonding. Like, I could probably get more of that from a fucking Nicholas Sparks film. I'm not a fan of those either. But just, I don't. I see a woman who has been taken by a man who read The Art of Seduction and then just used it to, like, the 200 percentile. Like, it's fucking absurd. I don't see a romantic, charming, young, wealthy businessman interested in the young woman. I see a guy who pretends. I see a manipulator, and that doesn't sit well with me. And that's one of the biggest issues with the book, is that it really perpetuates, like, you know, kind of these ideals of an abusive relationship. And last weekend, I hung out with my friends. I have the book, because, you know, granted, I don't support the film, but I didn't know a lot of these facts before I got the book when I was overseas. So I brought it back, and we would play a game where we'd flip to a random page and, like, read a quotation from the book. And I just, like, I don't like the book because it's poorly written. If I take out, like, my opinions on you know, how it shows the kink community and how it shows, you know, relationships, it's just not well written. It's not a well written story. At least I'm going this off the first one, and if this continues for 2 more sequels, God cannot be that good. I'm not the best writer, but damn it. But I don't, when I see a trailer for this film, I see, you know, even in some of his dialogue, you know, I've learned how to understand people. That sounds almost like something a sociopath would say. I see a guy who's controlling this poor woman who's, like, just struck by him. She just falls head over heels over him immediately. You know what? This film is like the prequel to the Joker and Harley Quinn. This is exactly what that film would be. Because I don't see an erotic romance. I see like a psychological thriller with like erotic undertones. Granted, he has some very shitty knot work based off what I've seen. But that aside, like I see someone using someone else for their own personal gain. Like, I have money, I have power, and I have a woman who will sit at my beck and call and do whatever I want. And, you know, that's not okay, because it doesn't really make her seem like his equal. It's like, there's a difference between, you know, a man having someone as a submissive, and then just having complete and utter control in a bad way. You have to do this, you dress this way, you look this way, you do this for me and for me only. Like this character does not seem healthy. And I don't even think I remember seeing him smile once in the trailer. Maybe I you know, forgot it too fast because it was not that memorable either. But you know, you would expect some more emotion. I see someone who is cold and calculating, and I see a woman who can't find that because she's just so struck by how mysterious he is and how different he is. He has power, but he's not the same as other guys. You know, he has these qualities that make him really interesting, almost like a bad boy, but kind of he has money, so you know he can do a lot more things, like take her on plane rides and the like. And just overprotective and domineering, and it's just, I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me. It really doesn't. And that's me trying to get my biases out of the way. When I include them, I can't tolerate this film. I'm gonna watch it, not in theaters, because I'm not paying money to see this. And based off all the notes I've seen, you know, the actors did not seem to have that much chemistry, even on set. I saw notes that were complaining about the sex scenes being like, oh, well, there's a burly guy sitting, you know, 6 feet from you that you barely know. It's like, well, that part is, I've seen a video that explained what sex scenes are like in that, because thank you, Philip DeFranco, for that odd link. Yeah, that part doesn't really irk me as much, because that's how most sex scenes in films are. They're incredibly awkward, and you have to act like you're having fun. But, like, when I see them in their interviews, they don't seem that excited or intrigued to deliver this to the fans. Like, I think the cast of Twilight had a little bit more, you know, vigor and life to them than these poor people did. It's just like there were arguments back and forth between the director and E.L. James, and I don't know. There's so much going on behind this film that part of me doesn't want to see it. And it's like, okay, well, if you hate it so much, don't go see the movie. It's like, well, yeah, but I'm curious. It's like a train wreck. It's like a calculated train wreck, or a Michael Bay explosion. You know it's coming, and you know it's going to be awful and destructive. But there's a small part of you that's just like inherently curious as to how bad it's going to be. How much disaster, how much catastrophe is going to come from this. And this is on a list of a couple movies I'm not going to see in theaters, because I don't want to support the ideas that this and thoughts that this film and these books have inspired in people. Just all these misconceptions, like that this writing is good. But yeah, like those are my thoughts. Just save your $8-10. Wait till it pops up on Netflix. You're giving Netflix your money. Then give it a watch, or just do like me. Go online, find it, watch it, fuck it. Like, you know, do a review. Done. Don't have to see it again. Don't have to buy it. Don't have to give a shit. I'm out.